Hey friends, welcome back. So it's well known that exercise is a modality that can improve fat loss, but does going in the sauna after exercise have any added benefits with regards to fat loss? Hopefully after watching today's video, you'll have a better understanding about what the science recently shows. So I want to share with you one of several different papers that have been published this year, comparing the effects of exercise plus sauna therapy compared to just exercise alone and looking at the outcomes. What are the benefits? What if any added benefits are there to going in the sauna 3 days per week for 15 minutes after an exercise session? Well, scientists in Finland, Dr. Jari Laukkanen, who's been studying the effects of sauna therapy on brain health, on cardiovascular respiratory health, and reduced risk of cardiovascular disease linked with sauna therapy, an amazing individual to follow. Look at his academic literature. But what he recently compared is those two groups that I mentioned, exercise versus sauna and exercise. What they found that was notable is a greater reduction in blood pressure and a greater improvement in cardiorespiratory fitness in people who went in the sauna after exercise 3 days per week. So I think that's the bottom line. Another study actually looked at individuals who were sedentary versus individuals who just went in the sauna. And actually what they found is that sauna therapy mimics some of the health benefits linked with exercise. So if you don't exercise at all, the bottom line here is you should at a minimum go in the sauna. Because it turns out that sauna is an exercise mimetic. It mimics or simulates the benefits of exercise without having to exercise. Now, again, going in the sauna does not obviate the need to move your body, but if you're injured, if you're traveling, if you're a new parent, if you're juggling a lot in your life, at a minimum, friends, go in the sauna because it's a mimetic of exercise. So that's what the data shows. But again, going in 3 days per week for 15 minutes is linked with greater improvements in blood pressure and cardiorespiratory fitness, as noted, or the proxy that was used to evaluate this in the study by Jari Laukkanen et al. Was VO2 max. There was a significant degree of differences between group differences that were important in the group that did the exercise and the sauna therapy compared to the group who only exercised alone. So I really want to drive this home because I know so many people who love to exercise, but they're like, I don't know about the sauna. I don't know about sweating. I'm not so sure about, especially with COVID, should I be in there? Am I going to get a virus and things? Yes, you should go in the sauna. There's a lot of health benefits. And again, if you don't exercise, you're going to get the benefits that you would normally get with exercise by going in the sauna. And it turns out that 1 + 1 is not just 2, it's more than that. So with all that being said, where do you start with the sauna? When should you do it? And if you decide to embark in getting a sauna in your home, where should you put it? And I want to share with you some tips about how to prevent mold exposure if you decide to get an at-home infrared sauna, because that's the mistake that I made a few years ago. I'm a huge fan of the high-tech health saunas because of how they have a low EMF heater. They have a music option in there that's wired. You're not having Bluetooth. They're very affordable, and the wood doesn't off-gas any chemicals, so I'll put links below. One of the best at-home infrared saunas that you can get access to, but make sure that if you decide to get a sauna, which I highly encourage you, especially with cold and flu season, you might be able to tell I have a little respiratory something or other. One of the ways I was able to kick this in basically a day was going in the sauna repeatedly at night, just before bed, doing rounds and just sweating and getting hot. And when you get hot, you stimulate various immune cells in your body that have a protective effect. So sauna therapy is really good during the cold and flu season. And because we're approaching fall, not only for cold and flu season, but also just feeling better when the days are a little bit darker, the days are getting shorter, a lot of health benefits with the sauna. So I encourage you to invest in your health, get an infrared sauna. High-tech health is amazing. But when you're doing the sauna therapy at home, the number one thing you want to focus on is ventilation in the room. So I wish I would have done that. So I'm just going to put here airflow in the room, because what happens when you go in the sauna is you get really hot, which is great. You start sweating, phenomenal. But when you open that door, all that moisture is going to go into your room. And if you don't properly ventilate your room, make sure that you have the windows open, you will develop a mold problem. I think this is a very under-recognized aspect of poor health, is mold issues and stagnant air and things of the sort. So make sure that you put your sauna in a part of your house. Think about this before you buy one. Where are you going to put it? Make sure it's by a window, by a door, so that when you get out, you can open and you have a fan going or something. You can make sure that some of that hot air gets outside, so that it doesn't condense and then start to build up moisture. And then the second part here is you want to make sure that you can be social with this. I think this is a really important sort of lost aspect here. When you have another person that can do this with you, it makes sauna therapy a lot better, because when two people are in a smaller infrared sauna, you start to sweat quicker. So find a partner, find a friend that can be a sauna buddy, make it a habit, make it an evening routine. Bring your child in there. My daughter and I, when we first got our infrared sauna, that's where we would read at night. We would wind down. So it's a healthy habit for being social, and now also as a bedtime habit. So be consistent with this. So when people say, well, what is the best time of the day to do this? It's the time that you can consistently carve out the time to be able to do it, to make it a habit. If it's in the morning, then make it a morning thing. For me, I found that it's a great way to relax, to unwind, to reflect on the day, and to prepare for the day ahead. So make it a habit and try to make it social. And so when you're thinking about, well, I might invest in the one-person sauna because I'm not sure if I'm gonna have other people in there and so forth, I would advise you to actually go for a two-person sauna, because you might meet a friend, you might meet a significant other, you might have a new partner in your life, and you can invite them over to go in the sauna together. This is really great, a great time to just sit down without screens, without other forms of distraction, and talk with people. You can form some great friendships and social connections going in the sauna together, making it social. Because if you look at other cultures where sauna therapy is really baked into the culture, you look at Russia, you look at parts of Eastern Europe, you look obviously at Finland, Sweden, other countries where this is baked into the culture, even Native Americans with sweat lodges. People did not do this by themselves. Now, there's nothing wrong with exercising by yourself or going in the sauna by yourself or eating alone. However, when you do these activities with other people, they're more likely to become a habit. And that's how they were done. As you study sauna therapy, if you so choose to learn more about this, check out saunatimes.com. Gary over there has interviewed a lot of people from Finland, from Russia, from all over the world. And this is where babies are born in the sauna in Finland. People die in the sauna in Finland. Bodies are cleaned in the sauna after death in other parts of the world, but in preparation for burial, right? This is part of the culture. And so I encourage you, again, to do this with friends and to make it a pre-bedtime routine, because it is a great time to unwind. It's a great practice to unwind. We know sleep is so important for all aspects of health, including fat loss, right? So if you can, instead of spending all this money on detoxes and detox teas and fat burners and things like that, well, why not put away some of that money and invest it in a sauna, because it can improve your sleep, which will eventually help you with food cravings and fat loss and much more. So I just kind of wanted to highlight what these recent studies have shown with regards to the improvements in blood pressure, cardiorespiratory fitness, and obviously we have more and more data, but the links here between sauna and exercise, I think there's a lot of parallel benefits. And as I mentioned, sauna is an exercise mimetic. It simulates the effects of exercise without having to exercise, which doesn't obviate the need to move, but it's an additive. It's a little, should we say it's a dessert? It's a treat. It's a reward that you give yourself for exercising. You're already sweaty, you already did your workout, so you can unwind, you can relax, you can calm down in the sauna. And I think there's a lot of benefits there, friends. So just want to keep you up to date on that and clear up any sort of questions. The downside is it doesn't appear that sauna therapy directly oxidizes fat or enhances fat loss associated with exercise, but it certainly appears to improve the cardiorespiratory health benefits, which are obviously important because, as we've talked about on this channel before, on this podcast, heart disease is still the #1 cause of mortality in the United States and presumably throughout the world in most countries. So we want to improve our cardiorespiratory health. We can do that with the sauna. So get a friend, invest in a sauna, buy one together, if you want to, with your roommate. And again, I recommend High Tech Health because they make a really clean sauna. It gets pretty hot, especially for an infrared type sauna. There's all sorts of ones out there, but I've vetted them because they're a family-owned company in Colorado, a really great company, and it's a low EMF sauna. So I'll put links below to High Tech Health and As always, friends, if you enjoyed this video, thank you for hitting that like button. Thanks for subscribing. Let me know if you go in the sauna, and if you do, how long you do it, when you like to go in the sauna. I'm always learning from you in the comments below. Have an awesome day. Bye now.